And we are back for now. We are back for our final game of the night. That long transition, it gets me sometimes, Billy. It gets me.
Hey,
But week 7, last game before the break. This one is University of Hawaii going up against University of North Dakota. University of Hawaii coming in 4-2. We're on a hot win streak. Hadn't dropped a game since week 1. And then last week, get taken down by Fairfield. So currently sitting at 4-2. North Dakota have had a rough go at it, but man, we were looking at that schedule, Billy. That is one rough schedule.
I mean, they started off against Montana, then back-to-back UTA, then back to Montana, and then they get University of Colorado as well. Now, the real nugget of info, the gleaning shot out of all that is that they have taken a game off of Colorado and Montana and UTA. So those are 3 top-tier teams. We just saw Colorado and UTA battle it out in a Game 5 thriller in the game before this one. So is this something that North Dakota can actually build on? Can they bring it to, a middle-tier team and maybe, take a win here? We'll see if they can actually bring it onto the pitch today.
I mean, that's definitely something to be proud of. And my previous investigation only showed that Colorado was the only team to take a map off of UTA. No, that was an error. This 1-5 squad from North Dakota has managed to do it. And I mean, that has to be one of the roughest schedules I've seen. And it's fresh from North Dakota, opening things up against the 4-2 Hawaii. Early lead for UND.
Yeah, and I mean, we're just looking right now to see, what University of Hawaii, I mean, off the loss against the MAC opponent in Fairfield. Now, Fairfield is a damn good team out of the MAC, and they are a stalwart competitor. But still, the kind of a shocking 3-1 defeat, especially with someone on the field. She is an absolute star in my estimation that I've seen, with the paper test in her competition in games. Look at that, fresh with a fantastic pre-jump there to deny somewhat the equalizing goal.
Red Rocket now trying to drive it down and ends up in a battle with Altoid along the outside. Altoid can't quite come away with a big clear. Here is Hawaii are trying to drive it in. Docky taking it up to the skies. Fresh goes up, steals it away, and back into the green half they go. Altoid coming across the outside, able to beat Charcuteer on that challenge. Pop the ball up. Fresh trying to get the tap off the backboard, but the defense holding on for now for Hawaii. As someone goes up for that ball, looking for the clear, runs out of boost, and Altoid driving right back to it. University of North Dakota not taking their foot off the gas here, Billy.
I'm loving it. I want to see this kind of fire coming out from them, and their rotations are really clean right now. Somewhat with a screamer, does not get the joy. Charcuteer the finish, no, off the woodwork as well. So I mean, we're still, tied up here. 3:30, a little less than that on the clock, and Hawaii have not really been able to put much together offensively. They've been pinned in their own defensive third.
Yeah, I mean, it's 1 goal to UND. It's the only thing we've seen so far. And now, got to defend to get Charcuteer and the rest of the Rainbows as they come in on the attack. Sadaki's going to drop one into the middle. Charcuteer back to ball 50 off a Red Rocket save. Charcuteer going up the skies. Looking for the double tap. Can't quite find it. Just narrowly missing out on the follow-up. Put a hold strong, but Sadaki might have a chance here. Fresh goes back for it. Gets the save just in time. Charcuteer with the follow-up, though. Nobody to block Charcuteer. It was a great move from Sadaki after Fresh's save. Sadaki is right there with the tap. Charcuteer doesn't leave any room for error. Now we are tied. 2:45 left in game 1.
Took him a second to maybe perhaps get used to a little bit of ping, maybe a little bit of warm-up time as well. I mean, they are so far behind us in the time zones. I think they may have just gotten done with dinner as well, maybe rushing to the game here. But, we've seen this happen quite a few times with the University of Hawaii in our early season games that we've cast for them. They kind of start off slow, but then really pour on the pressure after that. So I really want to see what they can do now that they have the equalizer goal.
I mean, and that ping factor cannot be underrated. It takes a minute to kind of get adjusted to whatever server they might be playing in. I think they're closer to Asia than they are any of the colleges they play against. Certainly North Dakota.
Right, they're kind of north of us, so I mean, they'd probably be playing on Central
Maybe.
Central servers, maybe West servers. We're not sure exactly, but you know, looking at what they're doing right now, I mean, it does take them just a second to get really grinding in the game, getting used to what they have to do. A little bit of that ghosting that goes on when you have that ping issue. So, you know, we'll see what they can do. Minute 45 left on the clock. Really, North Dakota has come out really well. Their defensive rotation has been really clean. I mean, they're getting back in the defensive third when there's any kind of pressure coming in from the Rainbows. So we'll see if they can continue this pressure moving forward. Sadaki with a nice touch in midfield, trying to push forward, trying to find someone on the end of this.
That was a decent little air dribble, but Fresh is going to steal it. Somewhat back at the midfield line, able to rotate in and keep pressure going here for Hawaii. Kind of loses control and then off just rotate back around, let Sharketeer come and kind of stab at it. Maybe try to take a bite out of it if you would. All right. Someone going up. She makes a save there. She's going to challenge Red Rocket. Good challenge indeed as the ball bounces towards the corner. But Fresh is there, tries to get the center. Sharketeer finds it clear, but I can't muscle it past Altoid, who's waiting for it in midfield.
Minty Fresh there from Altoid, and looking forward to a little bit more action coming from them. Sharketeer having to rotate back in defensively. And I mean, the work is being done by the Rainbows. They just don't have that finishing touch so far.
Yeah, and they're looking somewhat good. All right, we're going to have as many puns coming at you here this last game as possible. Yeah, I was kind of reaching for that one night. I was a little bit low-hanging fruit. But, you know, what was not was that ball. As Sadaki goes up for it, somewhat with a good amount of boost, has a look off the backboard, has somebody wait on the other end. The first shot whiffs from Sadaki, and Sharketeer can't quite find it. The rotation from someone, they're able to greet the ball, but Fresh comes up for an air 50. They're trying to keep it in half. Can't work the two defenders as the time dwindles down. Still at one top. North Dakota has an opportunity here in the final seconds to take game one. It's going to be a shot from Red Rocket, but it will fall. Get golden goal to decide this opening game.
Well, this is kind of unexpected here, and I'm wondering what's going on with the Rainbows because, you know, they normally adjust the ping rather quickly and then are able to, you know, kind of dictate terms on their own games and really shove that down their opponent's throats. But right now, they're just missing that finesse that we normally see from them, especially with someone on the ball. She's usually so precise with her shots.
There's one.
Done. I'm sorry that I ever doubted you somewhat because, you know, there we go. It takes it in and gets the beautiful goal, and that's the overtime golden goal, and that'll be 1-0 lead here in the series for the Rainbows, and on the back of some great you know, team play there. Everybody got a touch on the ball and really took it to them. So good work out of them. Looking forward to seeing what goes on in game number 2, but still North Dakota showing up to play here. And, you know, going into game number 2, I think if they get a little bit more possession on the ball, get a little bit more clean touches when they're going into these 50 challenges, you know, if they can get that cleaned up just a little bit more, I think that this becomes an extremely competitive match.
Yeah, I mean, North Dakota still only had 3 shots on goal. So that's the one worrying factor I see coming from North Dakota is they weren't able to put together a whole lot on the offense. Some good challenges in mid. And by the eye test, I honestly didn't think that Hawaii had put up 10 shots, but alas, they did. A couple, I think, of good volleys back to back to open things up, create the pair of goals that they did get. I mean, we saw that, I mean, very much on display in that overtime goal. So, yeah, it took University of Hawaii second as expected, but they do bounce back and take game 1. And they are one step closer here to closing this thing out. I mean, also another thing to remember is like we talked about at the top of the broadcast, you know, there's a lot going on for these students right now. So, you know, maybe Hawaii haven't had as much time to practice or scrim as they normally do because of midterms, because of the added pressure here at the end of the fall season.
Yeah, I mean, they have a beautiful place to be studying, though.
No doubt, man.
I'm jealous as all get out. I mean, they're in Hawaii, of all places. And I mean, come on. I mean, I would love. I don't know if I'd be able to study there, to be honest.
I mean, yeah, it's like, go sit outside of the beautiful weather on the beach, or go sit in a library and study. You know, like, I mean, you can take your book outside, I suppose. I don't know that I'd get a whole lot done.
I wouldn't.
I'm not sure.
I'd also fry because I'm a ginger, and yeah, I just fry in the sun. So, I mean,
you have a whole suitcase of sunscreen
It's true. I have SPF like 90,000. Like, seriously. I look like I'm already pale the way it is. I look as white as your shirt when I get the sunscreen all slathered on. I look at the sun and then I turn red instantly. It's like an instant lobsterification of my body. It's like lobster hitting boiling water. I just turn instantly beet red. But who isn't beet red right now is Hawaii getting the 1-0 lead here going into game
back on
number
track.
2. I'm trying to rail it in here. I'm trying.
No,
reeling it in.
I want to talk more about you on a beach in a spacesuit to try to prevent you from getting sunburned.
Nobody wants to have that mental picture right now, least of all me. But what is amazing is this game that we're seeing here. I mean, North Dakota, really did, show a lot of promise there in the beginning game. I think,
Really?
like I said, cleaning up their midfield play, really making sure that the rotations are crisp, going wide enough to make sure that they have a full field of vision going in as well. Because the goals that did go in, it was from somebody flying in. Out of maybe their peripheral range. So as we get into game number 2, maybe they can clean that up a little bit. Maybe they can get a little bit more pressure on the ball. And I mean, Frush started the game off very nicely with an early goal.
And had a great touch right off the kickoff. That was an interesting kickoff. I think both teams tried to fake the first man and then cheat up on the ball. And Frush then getting a demo here. Nice little defensive play, trying to get it out or pass it back to Altoid, rather. Into the green box it goes. Quickly sent away, as I will not let that turn into a shooting opportunity. And now North Dakota on the back foot. Stucky with a nice touch, gets booped off the ball. And Red Rocket runs away with it. Challenge down into the corner. Has to grab that boost. Does. Ball gets stolen, but Frush is right there to push it back in. And Red Rocket is rotated around the other side. Altoid shooting up from the middle. Frush and Altoid almost combined. Frush coming hard over the top, flying in, trying to get some shots on, and a nice volley out of North Dakota. Nothing quite finding the goal just yet, but if they keep up that salvo of shooting, it's bound to result in a 1-0 score right now.
I mean, the salvo that just came in from North Dakota, I mean, put the Rainbows on their back foot. I mean, they were absolutely feeling the pressure right there. And that could be the start of it right there, is getting an early demo, especially when they're in their defensive third, resetting Hawaii's attack and allowing the members to get up deep and start pushing forward, because they're starting to win these 50s with a little bit more frequency.
And those demos, like we just saw in the corner, are opening up a lot of space for North Dakota to work. And they're stealing the boosts on the back of it, so Hawaii are respawning, and there's no boost to grab.
Oh.
That was a great play from someone. Red Rocket, fortunate to get up to it, does well to find that save. Fresh up along the wall, trying to get it out of there. Sadaki reads it beautifully and is going to push it right back up against the backboard. Red Rocket then swoops back around the other way and is trying desperately to get it out of the white half. Air 51 by Alto in the sky, and finally the ball crosses back over into the green side of the pitch. Looking for a shot. Charcuteer has a dangerous touch. It landed right in front, but then follows it up and denies Red Rocket the look on the goal.
Oh, Charcuteer gets out ahead of the defense. Sadaki, we call him the silent assassin quite a few times because they just have a razor-sharp understanding of the play of the game. But, oh no, a whiff from somewhat. That could have been absolutely dangerous, but no follow-up. Red Rocket does get a shot on goal, but Sadaki back in defense, able to easily push that aside. And I told you, excellence breeds excellence, and Red Rocket with a hell of a save there. They're starting to feel it.
That was somewhat went in the 50 and gets a direct pass over to, I honestly didn't catch that with Sadaki or Charcuteer, but an even better save. Red Rocket takes it back the other way. And once again, UND open up first goal. It took a lot longer to make this one happen, but that also means there's less time for the Rainbows to bring it back.
Absolutely. And I mean, that's against the run of play there for about the past 20 seconds. So UND, the counterattack, once they are able to get defense or get enough players forward, they're absolutely owning on this. Oh my God, Charcuteer should have been rewarded with that beautiful play.
I think Fresh got just enough on it. And now going back on the attack, Charcuteer's going to make a good save of their own back on the other end. Sadaki has some room to work. Can't get past Altoid. Altoid pushes out from near post. Gets the pass over. Fresh is not in position. Does manage to block the incoming shot from Sadaki, however. And so it's UND going right back into the offensive. Ooh, somewhat beats two. Holy cow, goes up on the wall, looking for the Sadaki center. Doesn't get the final touch, and Sadaki has to cheat over and can't stay lined up with the goal. Right in the corner for the ball. Thrush able to get the big clear. Looking for that counterattack. Thrush denied a shot as Somewhat circles around.
Oh my God, Somewhat is a star. I don't care what anybody says. Somewhat absolutely juked everybody and put them on their heels. Great save there from Sadaki, but I mean, just look at the mechanics and the anticipation of where the pressures have come from Somewhat. Somewhat just absolutely circles around them and makes them look dumb in the challenge.
And that's it right there. Beats two, beats three. Red Rocket trying to stay with it, considering past the Sharketeer. Red Rocket beats Sharketeer to the ball. And it's Flush going up to the sky. And Flush is able to take it down. That one was another near miss based off of the heroics of Somewhat.
They just aren't finding the final touch, Jeff. That's what the big difference is right now. They're just not finding that finishing touch. They've had the setups, they've had the boost, they just haven't been able to find the back of the net. Now Toy, oh my God, almost goes upper 90.
That was really close. Somewhat now has an opportunity. Sadaki with the push, Somewhat with the goal. That was very nearly a 2-0 lead for North Dakota.
God.
Somewhat comes in with a beautiful move midfield. The great pressure onto the defense from Sadaki forces the kick out of the way. Hawaii ties the game with 14 seconds remaining, looking to send this into overtime for the second game in a row. Ball bounces back towards the green square. I guess it's a circle in this case. 5 seconds. Sadaki with a touch. It lands into Altoid. Altoid's going to keep it up. Try to get a game winner here. No, it does not have it. Sharketeer saves the ball.
Oh my God, that was almost a last-second goal. That would have been an absolute crusher for the Rainbows. But now, pressure still coming in from North Dakota, and they are looking absolutely re-energized. Yeah, I don't think they feel like they could lose this series right now. I think that they feel all the feelings right now for getting the win in this game and moving forward into game number 3. They're absolutely starting to believe in themselves too. They've really taken it to Hawaii.
I mean, and this is what we're talking about with their strength of schedule makes it such a their strength of schedule makes it so hard to judge them because of how difficult the opponents have been. You cannot go off of their 1-5 record. North Dakota are definitely a skilled squad that you cannot afford to underestimate. And I think Hawaii is learning that every step of the way here. Been living in the green half for the first 50 seconds of overtime. Another good look from Altoid. They've had more shots on goal, at least in the overtime period. Daki's going to find this clear, chase it back down. Altoid puts it back in. That might go off the post.
Oh, Sharketeer was absolutely dead to rights there, Jeff. He had no play on the ball. It actually went back against the grain of play, and you love to see those plays coming through, but a beautiful ball across the field, the switch from Sadaki, and now this might open up a little bit of space for them, but no. Oh my gosh, Somewhat once again, crucial touch in the defensive third.
They are so good on those defensive rotations. It is so hard to get a transition goal against Hawaii that they immediately rate it. They save boost to get back. You can see the communication is clean. Sadaki tried to go up and get a little turnaround tap onto that ball, but was a little too far away. It's a 2v1 against the wall. Sharketeer is going to walk away with it. Altoid waiting for it at the near post and is going to flip it over Somewhat and keep driving down. Sadaki comes in to back them up. It'll push it past midfield. Sadaki with a look off the near post. Somewhat doesn't get the follow, but Sharketeer is there. That's going to go up high. Altoid chases the ball up there to make sure it doesn't bounce right back in front of the white net.
Back and forth action here, in Hawaii on a little bit of a roll here as far as their rotations. As far as the ball's coming in, Sharketeer misses by mere pixels there. Hits the woodwork with Somewhat in the air. We know that she can do it. Oh, gosh, she was trying to hold it up for somebody coming trailing in.
I went for that flip reset. I thought they got the flip reset, but I didn't see the extra touch afterwards. I'm not sure if it actually connected with all 4 wheels or not. In the end, the ball does fall harmlessly. And here we go. The demo, the goal! UND take a map off of Hawaii. We are tied up. What a play. Altoid with this shot. Red Rocket with a huge demo and making a big splash. Indeed. University of North Dakota sending us into game 3. Tied up 1-1.
Woo! Boy, that was the demo of the century for University of North Dakota. Red Rocket absolutely getting the MVP star there, and well deserved as well. 2 saves on 4 shots, as you can see. That's 11 shots to Hawaii's 7. So they were definitely the aggressor there in game number 2, and they really played their own game, you know, counterattacking it sometimes being able to hold possession in their offensive third, and not allowing Hawaii to be able to get that counterattack that they're so well versed in. So, whew, Hawaii right now, they're feeling it. They're absolutely feeling it. And North Dakota, I mean, they came to play. And, I mean, that's 2 overtimes in a row. So these are 2 very well-matched teams. This could go either way, Jeff.
Absolutely could. And North Dakota have momentum now. They swung this completely the other way. They had 3 shots in game number 1, 11 in game number 2. So, I mean, that is quite the swing indeed, almost quadrupling the amount of offensive pressure by those metrics, at least. They were able to put up in game 1, nice adjustments, good physicality. I mean, that demo in the end, that was huge. And we were seeing that throughout that game, too. So, I mean, North Dakota are in a prime position to put up their second win of the season. It'd be their first win in the West Conference.
I mean, the West has just been wild all season long. I mean, you've got the juggernauts out there. It's just, I mean, steel sharpens steel. It's one of my favorite lines. And, you know, I think that it's absolutely true out West. I think, you know, especially going up your first 4 games against 2 of the top teams in the entire EGF in Montana and UTA, you definitely get better by playing those teams back to back to back to back. So, we'll see what happens going forward, but North Dakota, I mean, they came out with fire in their eyes, and like I said, they almost quadrupled their shots. I mean, that is some serious pressure on the net, and the fact that it was only a 1-goal game, once again, talks about how good defensively Hawaii is, somewhat really getting back and making sure that they are available in those defensive rotations. And, you know, the play that came out, and we saw her break ankles. We saw her, you know, just shimmy and shake the defenders getting in those counterattacks. So she's a star, and I can't wait to see what's happening in game number 3.
She's a dancing queen. It's going to be University of Hawaii winning this kickoff here to start things off. But quickly, the ball goes right back into their half. Red Rocket with a nice move goes over somewhat there. It's someone who is looking back on the play. Fortunately, her teammates are able to make the save. Leaves the ball for Sharketeer to take over to the wall. They were trying to find somebody in the center, but took too long, and Fresh is able to come up and disrupt. Somewhat rolling across. Doesn't have any boost to work with. Is just going to rotate back. Lets Daki go in and try to challenge Altoid. It's Sharketeer who actually cheats up and manages to push that ball back down in the other corner, allow for some rotations to come through. It's somewhat going up high, can't find the angle, can't quite beat the defender. And we're still scoreless after the first 45 seconds.
I love the patience that is being shown by Hawaii right now. They're not trying to get these, you know, slash and burn goals. They're not running the running gun like we usually see them do. They're being more patient. They're being more methodical with the ball, and they're taking time away on the ball from North Dakota. I think that's very smart of them, because every time, I mean, you saw it happen in game number 2. The amount of possession that was had by North Dakota absolutely burned them in the end.
Up goes over Altoid. Tried to put it off the top crossbar, but Red Rocket was right there. And I definitely think those adjustments are necessary. Ooh, and they're paying dividends. Their patience rewarded with a 1-goal lead in game 3. Doc, you finished a beautiful shot. Goes over both defenders. Well placed, well timed, well done.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a dummy there from somewhat. Actually, I looked purposely going past the ball and pulling the defenders up early in anticipation of a shot from somewhat. And Sadaki was there with the ninja skills once again to be able to just absolutely go over the top of those 2 defenders. So wisely constructed goal from Hawaii.
Red Rocket trying to push damage and force a pass too. Fresh coming in from the other side. Somewhat not get that out of here. Nice air pass. Stocky continues the drive. The challenge from Red Rocket's going to put an end to that attack. And Altoid now chasing the ball. Put up by Red Rocket. Nice move from Sadaki. Ball's coming in. Sadaki able to get in front of it. Altoid steals it away to try to maintain possession for North Dakota. Has to go all the way back into their own half to do so, and Sharketeer's gonna chase it down, puts it off the wall. Sadaki gonna do the same. Somewhat with the shot, also off the crossbar. That was supposed to be the killing blow. Sharketeer might be able to drive the Dagger Helm. No, Fresh has other plans. Back into the corner goes the ball. Sadaki is right there to meet with it, but loses it. Sharketeer rotates in while Sadaki grabs the boost from the other side. Grabs the pass from across the way. Red Rocket pushes it down. Fortunately, it bounces past the Hawaii attacker that was down there. Somewhat looking for a shot into the top corner. Goal!
Sharketeer with the dagger. Oh my God. Somebody clip that one because that's just absolutely beautiful. In the face of danger. And just goes far post upper 90. Are you kidding me? That angle is absolutely insane.
Oh, and we caught a little bit of the angle from the defender. Oh, and that ball. You hate those balls. And you're like, uh-oh. Like it's that angle where you're like, that could hit the crossbar, but that looks dangerous. Sure enough, drops it right in that top left-hand corner. Beautifully placed off the wall. Sadaki's going to drive in here. Oh, I thought it was not to get that demo. Does manage to steal the boost away from the defense. But loses control of the ball, and Red Rocket looking at a 2v1 now with Altoid against Sharketeer. Sharketeer turns around in the own goal as reinforcements show up to clear the way.
Oh, man, nice defensive rotation there from Hawaii, and that's exactly what you want to see. Sharketeer on the far post, looking for the touch. Doesn't find it, but somewhat is really getting involved in these corner challenges. Looking for a trailer there. So much traffic in front. Somewhat, though, getting back once again defensively. This is something that I've seen them really get into more into these later stage games that we've seen. Somewhat, you know, really as playing an all-court game, and that's what you need to see. You have to have this all-pitch mentality that you're not only good offensively, but you're also good defensively. And we're seeing that really come out since our first broadcast with them in week number 1.
Yeah, really clean rotations. Definitely good on both sides. Oh, nice shot. That's going to do it right there. Sharketeer puts up their second of the game. Huge pass, somewhat catches it right off the wall. Just a brilliant little touch. Never touches the ground all the way from end to end. And University of Hawaii really putting one together there to increase their lead to 3. Only 66 seconds remaining in game 3.
I mean, this is a statement coming out from Hawaii, and they're not done. They're not done. They want more. They want to pile it on here now because, I mean, they've had a struggle in the first 2 games, and both going to overtime here. They've just come out absolutely dominant on the ball. Their holding midfield has been absolutely fantastic.
And I can't help it. I think they have slowed down. Like the general feel seems a little slower. Maybe more methodical. And I think that's a good adjustment from University of Hawaii. It's hard to know exactly what's going through the players' heads, but that's what my eye test is telling me right now. Altoid's driving it down. Nice steal on the boost for Sadaki. Yeah.
that was mean. that was a mean steal of the boost because he gave him the look at it, then it said, nay, that's mine. Sadaki's gonna go ahead and push this forward.
We might have to change Sadaki's nickname to the Leprechaun. Just hogging all the gold.
You take that, though. You take that, and you take the 2-1 lead here if you are the Rainbows, and the absolutely fantastic work out of them. I mean, we've got a bicycle goal out of Sharketeer as well, so fantastic work out of them. Look at that, just a pure all-team game. 2 assists out of somewhat. Didn't get on the score sheet as far as the goals, but still had a lot of work done there. And I tell you what, it's just been fantastic work from Hawaii. So now North Dakota facing match point. What do we see them do? How do we figure, you know, what can they do to change this around? You know, they kind of got the tempo slowed down upon them, and that was really the big difference between game 2 and number 3, is that Hawaii was a lot more methodical. They really slowed the tempo down. They were more concentrated on, you know, getting connecting passes, whether it be aerial or whether it be on the ground. They also really managed the boosts a lot better that game. Midfield boosts especially, but we saw, you know, Mr. Thief, Sadaki, there in the right-hand corner just absolutely steal it out from in front of Altoid's face, which, you know, brought a smile to my face because, I mean, that was absolutely highway robbery. You give him a side of the Bega, then you go in and you just swoop in and take it. So we'll see. We will see if can do see what they can do, because North Dakota, they showed a lot of potential there, but somewhat might have early answers towards that.
Darktear looking for it. Oh, gets the bounce. It doesn't quite go their way. It was a slow bouncer. No one was quite there to follow up on it either. Somewhat looking to keep it in the white half. Is going to get challenged by Altoid. Somewhat will win that 50. Sends it all the way back down. Sadaki comes in with a shot. Sadaki with a goal way up top. Beautifully placed there from Sadaki. Early 1-0 lead to University of Hawaii. They're on match point. Now they've got a lead goal.
Yeah, in less than 30 seconds too. So I mean, this is fantastic workout for them. And you know, how do they build off of this? Well, I think they continue to do the same thing. I think they continue to be methodical with their touches on the ball. I think they managed to control the boost once again, and somewhat needs to get on the scoreboard because they're a fantastic player. Sadaki with another shot though, absolutely working fantastic here against it. Sadaki's gonna get number 2 right there.
The air demo on somewhat, that one right there, I thought might have put it into this play, but Sadaki not giving up on it at all. Perseverance in spades. What reaction just to get up there and get the car turned around to find that tight corner, find that tight angle. Sadaki hard-earned pair of goals. 45 seconds. Rush answers right back, though.
That is a fantastic kickoff win from Altoid. Then Fresh comes over the top and just gets a nice little tap there. A little bit of love from them. Oh yeah, somewhat does not get up high enough in time and actually pushes the ball in off the top of their frame. So 1 goal lead. Still almost 4 minutes left to go here in game number 4, and that's got to really put some wind in the sails of University of North Dakota because they had been held scoreless in game number 3.
What a great decision from Fresh to go for the waterfall shot and not just try to slam it in with power, but gives it that finesse to get over the defender. That was a very smart play from Fresh. And that's cut the lead in half. And North Dakota have to win this one. Like if they want to send us to game 5, I mean, it's either that or they're going to the final week 1-6. And all rests on Fresh and the rest of North Dakota. Fresh has been outstanding for them today. Needs to step up once again. See if they can equalize.
I want to see more out of Red Rocket, honestly.
Okay.
We've seen a lot of Altoid. We've seen a lot out of Fresh. I think Red Rocket needs to insert themselves into this game a little bit more because we've mentioned the other 2 players on the team, but we haven't really called much out from them. So I'd like to see what they can do to insert themselves into the game. You know, get some centering passes, get some demos going on. I mean, any way to do it. I think they need to get themselves invested heavier into this game.
And I don't know if that's Red Rocket just not winning the challenges or, playing more third man, but I feel like we've seen him up front. But I agree with you. Haven't had as big an impact as the other 2 players. Darktear loses the ball to Red Rocket there. All right, good move, good score. All right. You asked, you shall receive, Billy. Red Rocket just tied the game, wins a beautiful challenge against Sharketeer. A little bump from the back to help it out, but off the ceiling, Red Rocket catches it and drives it home in that top right corner. And there it is. UND has delivered. North Dakota tied the game as we are coming up on the halfway mark.
That's exactly what you needed to see. I mean, great, rotation defensively. Nice shot in front. Nice save. All right, Red Rocket. I may have lit your fire here. Let's go. Let's see what you got going into the halftime period. Shutout goal. Sadaki once again. Laser beam.
Hat trick for Sadaki. Somewhat with the pass. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Quick pass to make sure and beat the defense. Great read on the play there from Hawaii. It's Sadaki with an outstanding shot on the far right-hand side, making sure the defense had no chance of getting back to it. Lead goes back to Hawaii, and it's Sadaki going back on the attack. It took all 3 members of North Dakota to wrestle that ball away from him this time. Sharketeer finds it clear. Sadaki passes it up. Be somewhat off the top backboard. Can't find their own. Sharketeer rotates in. Gets the shot off and then just forces it off the backboard again. Hoping for some follow-up plays. And it's worked for them sometimes. We've seen this verse before out of University of Hawaii. University of North Dakota have started to catch on a little bit. Red Rocket going up top is going to make sure and just force that one on the outside so there's no rebound opportunity off the crossbar. Sharketeer gets the steal, trying to push it in. It's off that near post. Sadaki waits patiently in the wings, pushes it back up top again. And it's University of Hawaii. Keeps trying to just throw it off the backboard and hope for a rebound goal. It's been a lot of pressure, but nothing has been on target just yet here in the past minute.
Well, I mean, it's a very complicated game of keep away right now. I mean, you can't
Fair.
score if the ball's not in your offensive third, and
Valid.
Hawaii's got them pinned right now. So, I mean, that's what I'm looking at measuring this game right now is, you know, how much pressure is Hawaii putting onto this team, and yeah, I mean, they're absolutely keeping this ball in the air offensive third.
Such a good point. I mean, massive possession in the University of Hawaii right now. And they just need to keep up in the white half, keep the game played in the white half for the next 64 seconds. And the series is theirs. They will move up to 5-2 heading into the final week of play. Someone trying to push it over. Sadaki's waiting for it. You can see they're playing one person in the corner, other person on far post, and then they just kind of shoot it across and trade out. And it really also forces North Dakota to spend a lot of boost and to drive around, take a lot of time to even challenge the ball carrier. Nice opportunity there. Someone's going to chase it down. And, yeah, I mean, I feel like University of Hawaii are just buying real estate in the white half. Just as I say that, the clear finally comes through, but Fresh gets demoed along the way. And it's a 2v3.
Oh.
Red Rocket with a nice move.
Oh.
Beats Sadaki. Can't quite get to go. It's Fresh who shows back up. Fresh off the demo. And tying up the series with 21 seconds left. A double commit from the defense into the air. Leaves the goal wide open. This game has now been split wide open.
I mean, it's going to come down to an unconventional goal, I do believe. I mean, Red Rocket did not give up on that play, gets that nice little nudge, and then Fresh sets up the sitter and just absolutely buries it. So, you know, 10 seconds left here. Shots coming in from Hawaii still. Sadaki might be able to get one last attack underway.
Ball's going to fall. Back in the green half. Into the air goes the ball, but it got slammed right back down. One goal to decide it all here in game number 4. University of Hawaii looking to close out the series, get it off the face-off, and manage to grab both of the midfield megas. Someone with a touch trying to push it over to Sadaki. Sadaki's going to win the air 50. Yeah, that's a beautiful touch. Nice shot! Oh! Red Rocket with a great save. Squeezes it against the post. Just narrowly avoiding disaster.
Oh my goodness, that was a save and a half coming out from Red Rocket and gets a demo to boot, but that could be an own goal. Oh no! That was almost an own goal, an unfortunate pinch that came out. Oh my word, that was millimeters away from disaster.
Someone puts that one off the top crossbar. Another shot coming in. This is going to drop in front of Red Rocket. They have to just force it in the corner just to try to get out of harm's way. Get up in front of the ball and try to keep it out of the box. But someone with a look off the top crossbar. Can Sadaki get the shot? No, he's just going to put it up. Leave it for Sharketeer. Sharketeer goes in against the near post. The ball drops in dangerous territory. It's dangling there. All 3 players of the defense touch it. And somehow they finally get the clear.
Oh, no!
Oh, and Red Rocket finds the open goal. Oh, my goodness. University of Hawaii was so close. They could smell it. Sadaki yeets themselves into the play. And there's nobody back to protect the goal. University of North Dakota win game 4 in overtime fashion. We are headed to our second game 5 in a row.
That's exactly what we want to see here, getting towards the latter end of the season. Man, oh man, Hawaii, they had it on their hood. They had it on their tires. They just could not find the finishing touch, and then the outlet goal from the triple commit absolutely gets punished there. So, game number 5, that's fantastic.
I just want to point out before the screen changes, look at Red Rocket's score. You asked and you received. Look at that. 2 goals, 1 assist, 5 saves, and 3 shots for Red Rocket. They stepped up. 14 grand champion there to carry their team over to game 5. Sorry to interrupt, but I had to point that out while we were still looking at those numbers.
No, absolutely correct. And I mean, Red Rocket, you know, finally showing up here, but I mean, I kind of called him out. So, you know,
you get him, Billy.
I got what I wanted. I got what I wanted. I mean, all 3 players now are absolutely producing here now. And I mean, Hawaii's really going to have to pay attention and take the aggression up another notch. They're going to have to find that extra gear that we know they have, but we'll see if they can bring it to bear.
That was the new BMW cars, by the way. I don't think I've seen one of those yet. That was clean looking. Anyway, sorry. Game 5. It's Fresh pushing it down. Fresh has been outstanding today as well.
It is, by the way.
Yeah, I thought
it is. So. It is the new BMW car that came out. That is clean as you like. Altoid almost gets the opener here, but it's not done yet. Still balls in front of the goal. Oh my goodness. They just weathered the storm there, Hawaii, and now pushing forward in the
Oh,
counter
the transition.
attack.
Yes.
Beautiful. Absolutely well played.
You're so good in transition.
Look at that touch. Look at the precision. 34 miles an hour with the little English. Oh, that is chef's kiss beautiful out of Sadaki.
Face-off coming through after the early goal, 21 seconds in. And North Dakota recover. You don't bounce back already. It's just one. And this North Dakota team, I mean, they're a Counter-Strike team in their own rights. I mean, shots were 16-6 in game 4. Uh-oh, Red Rocket might have one here. Sadaki with a great save. But back to that stat, North Dakota scored 4 goals on their 6 shots in game 4 to send us to this game 5. Nothing better than a game 5, Billy. Nothing better.
Nothing better, and 2 in a row is even better than that. So, I mean, we're getting full value here out of our matches today. And what I'm looking for now, I want to see Altoid up their level because we've seen Fresh, we've seen Red Rocket really insert themselves in this game. Red Rocket had just the hell of a game last game. So now all 3 pieces got to work together, just like we see with Hawaii. I mean, the Rainbows, we know how well they play together in synergy. So now what can Somewhat and company do to keep this lead? Or will Red Rocket be able to pull it back? Oh my gosh, 3 minutes and 15 seconds left on the clock. I mean, this is anybody's game right now.
And Hawaii kind of playing that same style, like just putting a lot of shots off the backboard, forcing North Dakota to chase the ball around and spend resources just to keep the ball out of the box and clear the zone. By the time they get down there, they don't have a whole lot to work with. We did see North Dakota grabbing the midfield boost on that one. Red Rocket going to get the clear. Great midfield play coming out of Somewhat. Sadaki tried to chase it down. Altoid has it.
Got
nice
burned.
touch. Altoid's going to get this. Beautiful touch coming out of Bruno's Fresh in midfield. No, it was Red Rocket off the wall there. Look at that. What a 1-2.
That is a beautiful give and go. I mean, that's clinic right there. That's how you get past a really high holding midfield. A little give and go. A little one-touch passing, and that absolutely gets us the equalizer that we wanted, that we deserve here at our game number 5 as we hit halftime right now. All tied up. Shot on goal. Sadaki's got to get back and save it. He does.
It was close, though. It was close. And the follow-up shot will go high. Sadaki trying to push it out, make sure Fresh doesn't get the rebound off of that one. By the way, that midfield pass off the wall to boot, but God, that was still just awesome. I'm reeling from that one a little bit. Hopefully Hawaii has put it behind him. You can't let that get in your head. Mentality needs to take in the here and now. You've got 2 minutes, and this could very easily be a next goal wins kind of scenario. 2 teams have been so tight throughout this whole series. The 1 and 5 North Dakota are going neck and neck with the 4 and 2 University of Hawaii. And there is 1 minute, 47 seconds left in this series as the ball goes into the wide half. Challenge up top, won by Hawaii. Well, the ball is going to drop down. Someone's going to chase it in, grab the boost along the way. Target's in with the touch. Someone has an opportunity. Ooh. Nice save from Red Rocket. Rushes there to squeeze the ball against the corner. Try to get it out of there, but it goes right to Charcuteer. Nice save from Altoid. Holy cow.
Yep, and we're seeing this this corner pinching going on from University of Hawaii. North Dakota has become very wise through that shot
nice.
goal. Oh,
Wow.
Charcuteer!
What a save indeed. Oh, I thought that was going in for sure, Billy. Here's another good look. This is going to hold up the goal. Sadaki manages to beat Fresh there. Fresh can't pinch it down. And suddenly it feels like Hawaii's on the back foot. Look at this. Sadaki just standing back and watching from midfield. It takes 2 of them to get it out of there. One to stop the progress, the other to push it out of the net. And Hawaii hang on, narrowly keeping this tied. 43 seconds left in game 5. Somewhat grabbing the boost. Charcuteer pushes it against the far wall, trying to get it away from North Dakota. As hard as they may try, it is still a battle at midfield. Good shot there. Somewhat is going to have a look. To go off the backboard with it, but there's 2 players from North Dakota who were just sitting there parked up on the wall waiting for that play. Shot. Charcuteer with another good save. Sadaki with the challenge on the Red Rocket. Way to play the second man. not let that rebound shot come through. Good raid. Altoid might have an opportunity here. Near post. Ball bounces up. 7 seconds. Oh, man. Someone goes up and beats Red Rocket to the ball in the air as it goes into midfield. Opportunity. Fresh along the wall. Pushes up against the backboard. 0 seconds in the ball.
Oh, my God.
Ground.
No. Overtime. Third one of this series, Jeff. My heart just stopped. That was millimeters away from being the killing blow. Someone or Sharketeer up high. Altoid with the beautiful placement there. And oh my gosh, now the play in transition right now. Thrush getting absolutely back into this game with a hurry, with a finesse, with a ferocity right now. Hawaii definitely on the back foot, Jeff.
They absolutely are. And this is UND looking for the second win of the season. This could be the game-winning goal from Frost.
Oh my God,
the save is there. Docky coming up big. Saving the series for Hawaii. And now, can they get another one of these transition goals? They got to get past Altoid first, and so far they have not managed to do so. Finally, someone with a good touch forces it against the wall, going against the grain of North Dakota as they tried to cross the pitch. Sharketeer waiting back, doesn't have the boost to get a good touch, but is enough to get it over to some teammates. Docky gonna pass it down into the corner. The Crush steals it right away. Loses control a little bit, and it's demo for demo. That's an interesting trade. 2v2 momentarily on the pitch. Crush making their way back into this fight, passes it down somewhat with a huge clear.
I mean, that was a relief dump if I've ever seen one. Sharketeer on goal. Oh my goodness, that was probably the touch that they were looking for. They just didn't have anybody to follow it. Sadaki throwing themselves high, trying to keep the ball in the offensive third. Somewhat gets diffed on the side there. Sharketeer coming through. Open net. Looking for the fellow.
Oh, somewhat barely beating. I think I was fresh to the ball. Fresh or Altoid. The name flew by so quick, I just knew it was a small name. Nice touch from Red Rocket, pushing it out from midfield.
Oh, smart touch.
Very. And it's North Dakota, though, on the back foot now. Sharketeer with an opportunity. That touch goes into the corner as someone moves up to challenge. Sharketeer up on the wall. Sharketeer trying to push it down. Altoid with a good player on the near post is going to force it out. Ball goes right to Somewhat, though, and Somewhat's going to muscle past one, but can't get it past Rush. Rush pops it up, but the ball's still just dangling there. Finally, the clear comes through for North Dakota, and they're going to try to head on to the attack. Sharketeer chases the ball up on the wall, doesn't have the boost to do anything with it as far as an aerial is concerned. And it's just a slow bounce. The lull in the storm. Somewhat driving in, can't quite get the clip.
Yeah, I mean, may have ran out a boost there towards the end of that run as well. Maybe looking for a carom shot top. Nice save from Red Rocket. That was a screamer coming from Sadaki. I think the rotation's starting to favor Hawaii right now. They're starting to keep control of these midfield megas. Shot on goal, a little bit wide from Somewhat. Now we're looking for Sadaki. Sharketeer, who's going to get the finisher?
I thought that could have been an opportunity, but it was a good touch to push it out towards midfield. Red Rocket, a big hit, goes over Somewhat's head. Sharketeer falling backwards, gets the fadeaway touch. Nice save from Somewhat as Frush puts one right on goal. Sharketeer going through with the challenge as North Dakota rotates. Altoid comes in, able to muscle past one. Sadaki gets there off the bat, winning that ground 50. Pass over. Sharketeer with an opportunity, misses the ball. Someone's got to follow up it and push it into the corner. Throws it up top, and Altoid pushes it back the other way. Sadaki with a shot, looking for the double tap, looking to wait for somebody else. Someone with a shot! Red Rocket with a game-winning save. Sharketeer trying to follow it up, but cannot quite get the angle they're looking for. Sadaki's going to push it back down, and University of Hawaii can continue with their assault. Rush forces it into the corner to try to slow things down, buy some time for this North Dakota team to regroup. Big shot from downfield, but Sharketeer is already rotated.
Sharketeer is going to have a touch aerial here from the side, looking for the Mega in the side, going to put pressure on the Altoid. They're starting to rotate around here. Here comes the counterattack coming from Frush. Frush looking for a centering ball, goes underneath Somewhat, absolutely breaks the ankles. And now, oh my word, Sharketeer has a chance to move forward. Sadaki on goal.
That one's going to get set away as we cross the 4-minute mark here in Game 5. What a nail biter we've got going on right now. Pass into the corner. Sharketeer with a chance. Altoid with another big save. Dockett gets beat along the wall, but someone is there to back them up. Ball
What a
headed towards the
challenge.
net. Altoid's going to win it on the near post and force it straight forward. Interesting decision, but it works out well for him. And just trying to maintain control. It's Red Rocket who then pushes it away, but Somewhat was going to win the fight at midfield. Manages to pick up a small boost along the way. And Hawaii, you can feel them kind of clinch it in here, like they're starting to slowly tighten their grasp. Ball might have just slipped through their fingers as it goes up and Fresh is going to have a play. At least force it into the corner. Ducky able to beat him to it, steals the boost. Red Rocket grabs one of their own and goes back to the way. Red Rocket just has one to beat, but Somewhat is not going to be beat. Not this time.
Yeah, Sadaki, big touch there as well. So, I mean, the rotations are definitely running and wild now for Hawaii. And we got to see, are they going to be able to pull this ball out of their defensive third and keep this pressure up on North Dakota? Because they just have not been able to finish it off. They've had the lion's share of the attacking percentage here in the overtime. It's going to take something unconventional.
Flip over to Sadaki. Both defenses holding strong for now. Sadaki opts for the boost. Is just going to trust teammates to force it back down. Keep some offensive attempts going. Good demo. This could be the one to open it up. Sharketeer and Somewhat both going up for it. An atypical double commit from this squad, and it's Red Rocket who's able to get the touch to midfield. Up the boost in favor of trying to go for the ball. Still can't get the touch. Sadaki outplayed by Altoid along that wall and can't make any shots there. Clear comes through, and North Dakota going back the other way. Red Rocket with an opportunity. Sadaki is able to fly in there for that save. Somewhat gets one of their own.
I mean, we are into an extra game here so far in the overtime, approaching, halftime of a second game. Shot goal, Sadaki! There it is!
Sadaki does it, the blink of an eye. It's Somewhat. Nope, Sharketeer, excuse me, with the huge pass. And Sadaki does it. Breaks the 6-minute, 23-second game 5 overtime. Oh my goodness. This is 2 games in a row, Billy. What a treat. What a game.
What a treat. What a game. What a
What a
save. What a
season.
play. What a season. What a day.
What a day.
Good Lord. 2 5-game thrillers. Oh my gosh. Somewhat. Just had a fantastic series all day long, showing their star power once again, but it is the combo of Sharketeer and Sadaki getting the 6-minute, 23-second into overtime goal. And this is just pure joy. This is pure joy right now for us because, it was fantastic Rocket League. We had 2 underdogs really show up big today and take us to game 5s. And I couldn't ask for anything more from a broadcast. This, just stick a knife in me, I'm done.
Oh man, I'm telling you, this 1-6 does not reflect the skill of the University of North Dakota. Just straight up does not. They've had an outrageously tough schedule in a very difficult conference. I'm very proud of that. I'm very surprised. First time I personally got a chance to cast them and really get an in-depth look. And I was impressed, Billy. I was thoroughly impressed.
Absolutely 100% agree with you. This record for them, absolutely not indicative of what they can bring to the pitch day in and day out. They've taken maps off of Colorado, UTA, Montana, 3 of the biggest teams in the EGF, and they take 2 off of Hawaii. So, man, that is exactly what you want to see from a team. And University of North Dakota, I don't care where they end up at the end of the season, they have my absolute 100% respect out of that game.
And on the other side of the coin, you gotta show some respect for University of Hawaii, the perseverance and the focus to keep their head in this game and to stick with it, put up a flurry of shots. They actually got outshot there in game number 5, but they kept their focus. Somewhat and Sadaki had wonderful games. The squad is always fun to watch. A lot of great synergy, very unique style, and so hats off to them. University of Hawaii coming away big in this 3-2 victory. It's their second Map 5 victory of the season, and I'm so proud and pleased that I was here to see it. That was amazing. I hope. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right, we gotta take a break. I gotta put my brain back together because this game broke my brain. That's just all there is to it. We're gonna get a winners interview in here, I think. But that should be coming up. We'll find out here in a moment when we come back. More EGF. We are here with the captain of the Rainbows from University of Hawaii. It is Sharkateer. Really appreciate you coming on to speak with us. Congratulations on a very hard-fought victory.
Thank you. Thank you. Happy to be here.
So going into Game 5, what were comms like going into that? I mean, you're coming off of a hard loss last week. You know, you're not used to losing. You won 4 games in a row, then had that tough game against Fairfield. You're going into Game 5 here, kind of staring down the barrel of what could have been your second loss in a row. What were comms like to keep you focused? What was the game plan going into that deciding final one?
Yeah, we were definitely discussing like, why we lost the games we did in it. Definitely figuring out like what we need to do to keep up the pressure, because in the previous games we realized that if we started rotating faster and putting more pressure on, we were putting more goals in. But it was definitely a little bit stressful because the series went completely the distance. So as you see, we went to overtime too. So
Multiple times. And I appreciate it, because that just leads perfectly into my next question. How do you stay focused in those long series? I mean, 5 games deep, a 6-minute overtime. What do you do to keep your eye on the ball and to keep your head in the game?
yeah, in those games you can kind of just like you can get caught up and kind of go into like a trance. So it's really important for us to make sure that we're talking constantly, like communicating, like even the little things that maybe don't matter, just saying everything out loud and making sure we're on the same page. Because it's overtime. If we make one mistake, it's over. So
It's good comms kind of keep you from going on autopilot.
yeah.
Yeah, right on.
All right, so Red Rocket seemed to be a thorn in your guys' side. Once I called his name out in game number 4, I'm sorry, by the way, because they absolutely lit up the
You can blame
screen. You can blame me. That's a blame Billy moment, because I said I haven't seen much out of Red Rocket, and then he started popping off. But I mean, seriously, getting back and forth in game number 5, you guys trade out goals, and then we go for 9,000 hours. What did you guys really change up in that last couple minutes of overtime? Because you guys had the aggression. You guys had the majority of possession. They just seemed to get these counterattacks going against you, especially when you guys triple committed into the overtime. How did you guys get back? Because there was like 3 or 4 saves there that you guys absolutely scored or saved out of nowhere. So how did you guys get back? How did you guys seal it out? And what did you guys change in that last minute that really made the difference over the top?
Okay, I'm glad you brought up Red Rocket because he definitely showed up this series, so good job to him. But for the last couple minutes of overtime, we're definitely kind of thinking about like cutting off their rotations, because like you said, they had really good counterattacks. So we realized that if we cut rotation and threw ourselves at the ball before they had time to set up on our half, we could kind of keep it contained and go right back on the attack. And then yeah, we eventually managed to close out the game, which was great.
Oh man, it was a joy to watch. It was a
Yes.
joy to watch. Well, I know I'm sure you're exhausted. We don't want to keep it too long. Any shout outs you want to give here before we let you go?
Shout out to my teammates, of course. They're awesome, and shout out to everyone back at Esports. Great community to be a part of, and thank you guys so much.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us. It's one of my favorite things about this job is getting to talk with the players and get some insight. I feel like I learn something every time, so it's a treat for me as well. But congratulations on the dub, and hopefully we'll get to talk to you again soon.
Yeah, thank you guys for sure.
All right, what an exciting day, Billy. Oh my goodness. 2 game 5s. I mean, 2 game 5s. I don't think either of us expected to go to game 5 with the underdogs of North Dakota and Colorado really stepping up against some tough opponents in the West. We saw a lot of the West. We cast every team throughout the day, at least. We had every team from the West here on stream, except for Bowling Green, I think. But that's a tough region. It made for some great games. Oh my goodness.
I couldn't have asked for more. And I mean, now we're heading into last week. That'll happen after Thanksgiving week. But it'll be fantastic to see what happens then. because it's all on the line. I mean, Hawaii absolutely keeps themselves in the picture for the playoffs as well.
Sure.
So we'll see, where they end up landing. I mean, they're on 5-2 now for the season. They're ahead of Colorado still. So I mean, with the two juggernauts of Montana and UTA, I mean, right behind them is Hawaii sitting in number 3. So this is going to be fantastic close to the season, especially out west.
Yeah, I can't leave Colorado out of that one either. University of Colorado is in that running as well. So it's a tight running between all of these squads. It's gonna be a joy to see how it turns out. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us. Big shout out to our producer Eon behind the scenes, keeping us in check here today. Go follow official EGF on Twitter. Everybody around here works real hard, so go drop them a follow. It's a nice little reward. It really does help things out, and plus you get to stay up to date with all of the awesome action going on here in the collegiate scene, not just with Rocket League, but all the other titles that are here as well. But other than that, this is gonna be Jeff and Billy saying happy Thanksgiving. Good luck with all your midterms, and we will see you after the break.
Bye guys, love y'all.